Thank you for joining SoCal Talk. All right, in this episode, I want to talk to you about what's going on in California in this upcoming recall election of Gavin Newsom. If you're not aware, all right, the California governor is up for recall election. That means people aren't satisfied with his direction and what his decision in making the choices for California right now. So people decided to, hey, recall this guy, all right? But because of this is in the light of the news, I want to make aware of Gavin Newsom's shady history, of his prior history, of how well connected he is in California politics, and how deep his past go when it comes to corruption in politics, right? And this article I want to share with you guys is written like in 2019, so it's a very old article, but I just want to bring it to two upfronts because Gavin Newsom is up for recall. And I want people to be informed of what kind of shady history he has in the state of California. All right. And on that note, guys, let's get to the article. All right, Gavin Newsom. All right, there you go. I'll leave the link in the description below. All right, if you guys are inclined to read this for yourself. It said Gavin Newsom keeping it all in the family. How deep connected it is. If you just look at this chart right here, if you see this chart, you see how connected he is. All right, how connected. Four families, three generations of corruptions. All right, the Brown family, Jerry Brown, the former governor, the Pelosi's, the House representative, the Newsom family, and the Getty. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty think this is connected to the Getty Center. If you're not aware of the Getty Center, is the people who own, when you look at the website, it said Getty Images, right? If you use their images, they can sue you for whatever you got. So make sure you don't use their images because all their images is copyrighted. All right. And they're I guess they're owner of the Getty Museum. You know where the Getty Museum is a big museum. All right, it's built in California. All right, for some reason they have a lot of their building instruction pass to build a museum on top of a mountain for some reason, right? Building to build a building in California it takes forever. So I don't know when it was built, but I'm sure they're well connected. All right, let's continue on with this article. In summary, Gavin Newsom became the governor of California. He wrote a new chapter in saga of four intertwined San Francisco family. Remember, this article came out 2019, when Gavin Newsom take the governorship. All right, Gavin Newsom will be the first Democratic in more than a century to succeed another Democrat as governor, and secession as marked as a big generational transition of California politics. Remember, California is a super majority Democrats. All right, super majority. That means nothing else get passed. No alternative ideas get looked at. All right, no matter how good the ideas are, they get thrown away. All right, that's a bad thing with super majority. It's like a communism. It's like socialism. That's basically what it is. It's a dictatorship. That's what happened when you have a super majority. There's no democracy. All right. There's no exchange of different ideologies. All right. When there's different ideology, when there's a diverse of ideologies, there's many solutions to problems. But if you have the same ideas over and over and over, there's no solutions, right? But let's carry on with this, right? A long dominant of geriatric quartets in San Francisco area, Governor Jerry Brown, all right, Senator Dianne Feinstein, Barbara Boxer, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, has been slowly seeding the young political striver, especially Kamala Harris, which is the VP right now, right? There's question about her legitimacy, but all these people, all these corrupt individuals, right? They're stemming from San Francisco. San Francisco is destroying America. Let's say that. Out of all the whole 50-state country, one city is destroying America. One city is generating all the corrupt politicians to destroy America, and that is San Francisco. They have a lot of corrupt politicians there, right? I don't know anybody would live. I mean, back then San Francisco was beautiful, right? Now it's a cesspool, literally a cesspool, right? Moreover, Newsom is succeeding someone who could consider a quasi uncle. Since his inauguration, continued a decade-long saga of four San Francisco family, intertwined by blood and marriages, money, culture, and of course politics. The Brown, the Newsom, the Pelosi, and the Getty. The connection date back at least 80 years when Jerry Brown's father, Pat Brown, ran for San Francisco District Attorney, losing in 1939, but winning in 1943 with the help of his close friend Gavin Newsom's grandfather, businessman William Newsom. Fast forward to 2 decades, Governor Pat Brown administration developed the Squaw Valley for the 1960 Winter Olympics. Afterward, awarded a succession to operate it to William Newsom and his partner John Pelosi. One of Pelosi's son, Paul, married Nancy DeSandro. Remember, DeSandro is his real name. Is her real name. She's connected to a mob family, right? She's connected to well orchestrated crime family, right? The mafia in San Francisco back in the 90s, whatever it is, 40s. This woman is 80 years old and she's not retired yet. 81, all right? 81 and she's still doing politics. When you think, if you're at that age, when you just retire and enjoy your twilight years, all right? Just retire, all right? Who went into politics 81 years old and now reclaiming the speakership of House Representative. Another Pelosi's son married William Newsom's daughter, Barbara, until they divorces. That made Nancy Pelosi someone like an aunt by marriage to Gavin Newsom, right? Do you see the conflict of interest here, right? The governor is a nephew of the Speaker of the House, right? There's bound to be corruption and rigging along this line in the upcoming election. I'm telling you. Nancy Pelosi brother-in-law and Gavin Newsom uncle. All right, that's in parentheses. The Squaw Valley concession was controversial at the time, creating something of a rupture between two old friends, right? They had their own intertwined conflict between their group back in the days, right? William Newsom went to make a significant improvement to his ski complex. See how corrupt they are? Ski complex. What kind of, these people are not regular people. What regular people own ski complexes, all right? These are the 1%ers, right? Including convention centers. But Brown Department of Park and Recreation balked it. Newsom and his son, an attorney also named William, held a series of contentious meetings with officials over the issue. All right? An 8-page memo about those 1966 meetings from the department director, Fred Jones, buried in the Pat Brown archive, described Newsom being a embittered and a senior Newsom threatening to hurt the government politically. As Brown ran for a third term that year against Ronald Reagan, Pat Brown bid for the third term failed. Ronald Reagan administration later bought out the Newsom concession, but the Brown-Newsom connection continues as Brown's son Jerry claimed the governorship in 1974. He appointed a young William Newsom as a partner friend and Gavin's father to a placer judge, county judgeship in 1975, and 3 years later the state courts of appeal. When Gavin Newsom father is a justice, all right. To be honest, let me be frank with you. When it comes to election, I don't vote for judge or sheriff or anything. All right? I only vote for policy. I rarely vote for any politician. All right? I don't like politicians. But I rarely vote for any judges. Elect a judge to go against me? I don't know. I just don't vote. It's just my personal preference. If I see a judge on the ballot, I just skipped it and go next one. I know. I should have, but that's just my preference, right? But let's continue. After Justice Newsom, who died a few weeks ago, remember this article was written in 2019, had been an attorney of oil magnate J. Paul Getty. So he's an oil tycoon, right? J. Paul Getty. Most famously delivered $3 million to an Italian kidnapper of Getty grandsons in 1973, who served to the appellate bench in 1980s. He helped Getty's son, Gordon, secure a change in state trust laws that allowed him to claim share of a multi-heir. Okay, there you go. He changed the law in order to gain more riches. All right, that's how corrupt it is. All right, it's quid pro quo. All right, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. After Newsom retired from the bench in 1995, he became administrator of a Gordon Getty-owned trust, telling the interviewer, "I make my living working for Gordon Getty." All right. The trust provides seed money and Plumpjack change a restaurant and wine shop that Newsom's son, Gavin, and Gordon Getty's son, Billy, developed, the first being in the Squaw Valley Hotel. I'm getting that vibe that this is the same restaurant that got exempt from the mask mandate that Gavin Newsom put on the state of California. So everybody restaurant business had to close down except his. Everybody business had to wear a mask except his. You see how corrupt it is right here? All right? Gavin Newsom has been formally adopted by the Getty after his parent divorces, returned to a similar favor. And what's all these adoption, man? Like, what gives? Like, what what other hidden things in this family that you don't know about? All right. Why is he adopting them? Returning to a similar favor that Newsom family had done for younger Gordon Getty many years earlier. Newsom Plumpjack business name after Gordon. Okay, I read that already. Oh, okay. Plumpjack business named after opera of Gordon Getty wrote. All right, so it was based. The rest of it was named after an opera that the guy wrote. Led to a career in San Francisco politics. A stint in mayor. He was a mayor. Newsom. Gavin Newsom was a former mayor of San Francisco. All right. Not only that, he was a lieutenant governor after that because he at first he was running for governor. Then he moved along to step down and run for lieutenant governor to make room for Jerry Brown because Jerry Brown wanted the governorship again. All right. That's how he became lieutenant governor. He could have been. The governor, but yeah, but he stepped down for Jerry Brown, and now he's in the governorship because nobody else has ran in California. California have a track record of having a lot of lousy nomination for governor, right? Lousy people running for governor. His father, old friend, he keep it all in the extended family. That's what he is, all right? And that's the end of the article. All right, let's look at this chart. Looks for one more time. Look how well connected his family is. Look. Brown, Pelosi, Newsom, Getty, all right, Jerry Brown, 3 generations. 3 generations. If you guys want to look at this article, I'll leave it in the description below. But this is mainly to California voters, all right? But if you're not in California, you can look at this too. It's very informative to see how corrupt San Francisco is, to see how corrupt San Francisco politics is, how corrupt Gavin Newsom is, and how corrupt the Democratic Party is. For this upcoming election, I'm not pretty sure. I have low confidence that this election will be rigged. I mean, won't be rigged. All right. There's already been in the news that he's hiring criminals to collect ballots. The Secretary of State or whatever, the Attorney General, allowing people to vote ballots at home. All right. How is that not prone to corruption? How is that not prone to rigging? All right. I could print ballots at home. What? How is that not prone to corruption? Right? Then in the news before, a criminal was caught with ballots in his car, knocked out with some handguns and drugs in front of a 7-Eleven in Torrance, California. That was in the news recently. All right? So how confident are you for this election to go? All right? And Gavin Newsom's on his heel because Larry Elders is a candidate for the governorship. All right? Is gaining steam in the recall election. So Gavin Newsom is I guess he's on his toes right now. All right, steam's coming out of his head. This pretty boy. All right, but I just want the California voters. Most of California voters are very ill-informed. Not only that, they're very liberal mindseted, and if you know one thing about liberals, they're stubborn in their ways. They're not. They want to be considered as open-minded, but when it comes to politics, in fact, they're the most closed-minded thing ever out there. All right. But anyway, if you're a voter for this coming election, be aware of what you're voting for. Be aware of who you're voting for, and this is to show you how deep-seated and well-connected Gavin Newsom is to corrupt politics in California. Right. California, a super majority of Democrats. All right. A communist. Basically, what is communism? We have a super majority. All right. There's no exchange of different ideology. When you have a super majority, there's no exchange of different ideas. It's the same idea. You know when they said that the definition of insanity, you do the same thing over and over and expect different result. All right. This is insane. What we're having here, you keep voting for the same people. You're supposed to vote on people's records, their actions, and their logics. All right, not on your emotion. Voting with your emotions, being fear. If they use your emotion against you, you should not vote at all, man. It's just don't vote with your emotions. Voting your emotion is not rational. It's not logic. All right, I'm pretty sure most of you who watches this channel already understand that construct. All right, but for some of you who doesn't understand that like to vote with their emotions because they're feeling or hurt because of a fact, truth hurts, right? They tend to go against it because their emotions are taking over their logic base. But if you find that very informative, please like and subscribe and engage with the channel. All right, help me build up. But on that note, guys, thank you for watching. This is SoCal Talk. Peace.